Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of Unburdened. I am Madhukar Reddy. Let me start with a moment that you might recognize. It's late in the night, maybe 10:30, 11 p.m. The house is finally quiet. The day is technically done. The kids are asleep, the doors are locked, the lights are off, and you finally sit down. And for a second you think, okay, now I can relax. But then your chest still feels a little tight. There's a shortness of breath, and you really can't get a deep, satisfying, deep inhale. Your mind starts scanning like a security camera. Did I forget something? Did I miss a message? Is everyone okay? What's coming tomorrow? Is there anything I should be preparing for right now? It's like there is this quiet hum in the background that never really switches off, even when nothing is actively wrong. If you know that feeling, you already understand what this podcast is about. Because most of us are carrying more than we realize. Not bags or boxes, but an invisible kind of weight. The kind that shows up as low level tension, the kind that follows you into the good parts of your life, the kind that makes it hard to be fully present in a moment, even when that moment is safe. And just to be clear, this isn't a podcast about piling on more things to do. It is not about fixing you. It is not about optimizing your day. It is not about becoming some shiny, upgraded version of yourself. It's much simpler than that. It's about noticing what you're already carrying and getting curious about what might shift if you did not really have to hold it all so tightly. Because a lot of people are walking around looking fine on the outside, functioning, achieving, showing up, while quietly fighting battles on the inside that no one really sees. And maybe that's you. Maybe you are the person who holds things together. You are the one people lean on. You are the one who checks in, handles the details, drives the plan forward, makes sure nothing falls through the cracks. You are the one who remembers the birthdays, follows up on the doctor appointments, notices the tension in the room, make sure that the bills get paid on time, make sure everyone gets home safe. You you don't make a big deal out of it. You just do it. And somewhere along the way you learned a rule, maybe without even realizing it. If I don't hold the line, things slip. So when stress creeps in, you grip a little more tighter. From the outside, that can look like being responsible or disciplined, or depending on who's judging, controlling. But on the inside, a lot of the time, it's not about control, it's about protection. It's love expressed as vigilance. And I know this pattern very personally. I used to be the guy who could not even know how to take a vacation without constantly opening my work laptop to get just one last thing done. Not because I was important, not because I was busy, but because part of me felt like I had to be available. Like if something went wrong, I should be the one to catch it. And that sounds noble until you realize what it does to your nervous system. You can't relax if you're always on call. And maybe you have been this way longer than you think. Maybe you were the responsible one even as a kid, looking after younger siblings, helping out at home, stepping up even before people asked for help. That caring side grew with you, and over time, it can turn into a belief that feels like your identity. If I can do it, I should be the one to do it. No one gets hurt on my watch. These are the identities you take upon. So you become the person who texts, "Hey, are you home safe?" You do things yourself because it's faster. You don't delegate because you don't want to burden people or because you don't trust it will be done right. You carry more than your share because it feels like that's what good people do. And you are often amazing in crisis, but rest can feel strangely uncomfortable, even suspicious. Like the moment you relax, something will go wrong, or someone will be disappointed, or you will fall behind. People count on you, They trust you. They do feel safer with you around. But they don't always see what it costs you. Now, maybe you are not the protector type that we have been discussing so far. Maybe you are the calm planner, the steady one, the person everyone wants next to them when things get shaky because you don't panic. You think, you got a plan, the backup plan, and you have already run the scenario where both these plans fail and you need a third plan and you got that plan ready. You show love by handling things, by fixing things, making life easier. You care far more than most people realize. You just don't always express it with soft words. And when someone asks how you're doing and you're actually overwhelmed, you say, I am fine. And then you pivot to something practical. You don't want others to see your inner core. Because feelings can feel messy, and practical things, they're solvable. But when you finally do open up, it's often deep, thoughtful, self aware. Like there's a whole private inner world you don't show most people. Whether you are the quiet protector, the steady planner, or a mix of both, I want to say something that matters. These patterns did not come out of nowhere. They are not random personality flaws. They are strategies. They formed for very good reasons. They helped you survive something. They helped you be useful. They helped you be loud. They helped you create safety for other people and for yourself. The problem is a strategy that worked in one season of your life can become a burden in another. Because you can end up living like your life is always in emergency mode. And from the outside, everything can look completely fine. You meet responsibilities, you keep things moving, you show up no matter what. But inside, it can feel like there's a constant pressure. Like life is always switched on. And even when you get a moment to rest, even when you finally sit down on that couch at 11 p.m., it doesn't really feel like rest. Your body is still on the guard, battle ready. Your mind is still scanning. Your nervous system is still at work. And if this is you, I want you to hear this clearly. This is not because you are broken. It's because modern life quietly trains us to stay alert, to stay useful, to be reachable, to anticipate, to prepare, to manage, to perform. And over time, that always on state becomes your baseline, and you forget what it really feels to actually be at ease. And now, here's the part that confuses a lot of people, and maybe this is where you have been stuck. You work hard, you build stability, you achieve things you did not think that you could ever achieve. You earn respect, you become competent, capable, reliable, and you think, okay, now life should feel lighter. But often it does not happen like that. You might be happy in pockets, like certain parts of your life are genuinely good, but overall there is still heaviness. So you turn on yourself. I should be more grateful. I should be happier. I should be doing better than this. But the issue usually isn't gratitude and it isn't effort. It's that success and lightness are not the same thing. You can be doing well on paper and still feel exhausted deep within. You can be capable and still feel internally strained. And that's not a personal failure. It's just how the mind had been trained for a long time. So let me tell you what I mean when I say unburdened. I'm not talking about a life without stress. Is that even possible? I'm not talking about dropping responsibility, abandoning ambitions, or floating through life pretending nothing matters. Things matter, some more than others, but they do. Being unburdened doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop adding inner tension. It means less inner resistance, less fighting with reality, less swimming against life, more presence in the process, and less obsession with controlling the outcome. You still act, you still show up, you still take responsibility, but the effort feels different. Not because life magically gets easier, but because you are no longer dragging unnecessary tension along with you. Here's a simple way to put it: there's the weight of life, and then there's the weight that we add. The weight of life is unavoidable: work, family, decisions, loss, uncertainty. The weight we add is the scanning, the internal pressure, the many inner arguments, the I should be different right now, the feeling that you can't relax until everything is perfect. Unburdened is learning to tell the difference and learning how to stop paying for life twice. That's what this podcast is here for. So, what should you expect from this podcast? Here's my intention. Some episodes will feel like a slow conversation like this, where we name patterns that are usually hidden, invisible. Some episodes will bring in psychology and neuroscience, not to diagnose you and not to turn you into a project, but to give language to what's actually happening inside you. Some episodes will pull from philosophy and older wisdom traditions, especially from India, not as mystical answers, but as perspectives that can surprisingly be practical when you look at them without hype, fear, or cynicism. And sometimes I will offer something simple that you can try, not a hack, not a productivity trick, more like a small experiment, a way to notice when your mind is under pressure, a way to recognize the moment you start tensing up, a way to feel the difference between effort and tension, a way to return to the present without forcing yourself. And if you're someone who's allergic to being told what to do, I get it. The point here isn't to pressure you into change, the point is clarity. Because sometimes the biggest relief is not action, it's recognition. It's finally seeing, oh, that's what I have been carrying. And just as important, that's not the only way to carry it. Now, for transparency, I am not a psychologist. I am not a neuroscientist. I am not a practicing yogi. I am someone who's been curious for a long time about life, about people, about their motivations, mindsets, desires, goals, and ambitions, and about how to do all we do in a way that works for all of us together and ensuring that it lasts. So, this podcast is my way of exploring that curiosity with you, slowly, carefully, honestly. If you are curious too, I have started putting together resources on a website. The link is in the description if you want to check it out. And before we close today, I want to offer something very small. Nothing dramatic, just a quick moment. Wherever you are right now, if you're driving, don't close your eyes, but if you can, take one slow breath. Just one. And notice what's here. Notice if there's tightness anywhere in your face, in your forehead, in your jaw. Notice if your shoulders are drooping or your back slouched. This is the body holding tension within, like a compressed spring. And this is where the unwinding, the unburdening should start. Not in some big transformation, but in a tiny shift from being unaware to seeing that there is a compressed spring within. If anything resonated today, you don't have to do anything with it right now. Just notice. Notice how often you are on, even when it's safe to be off. And if this feels like a space you would like to return to, you are welcome to subscribe and join me next time. We will take this slow, we'll take this deep in a very grounded manner. If this vibed with you, I would love for you to share it with one person who you think should hear it. Thank you so much for listening. See you soon.